Hi Stampin' friends, Sandi MacIver here. Thanks so much for stopping in. Hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to share with you how to make a really simple card, absolutely fabulous, just by adding a really simple Distress Oxide background. Inks for today's project are Scattered Straw, Seedless Preserves, and Wilted Violet, and you also need a Ranger mini blender for each color, along with VersaFine ONYX block. I'm starting with a piece of Nina 80 pound, 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm zooming in so that I'm up close and personal for you. And you'll also notice that I'm holding my paper with a Kleenex because your fingerprints really show up on this ink. So I just basically have gotten into the habit of holding onto it with a Kleenex or a paper towel. Paper towel, because it's got those little designs in it, actually leaves a mark, which is why I'm using a tissue. And you know, I use the same tissue for probably 5 or 10 cards before I throw it out and start another one. So it goes a long ways. And you'll see I'm starting with one color, then I'm going to the second, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to blend the line in between the two of them so that it just nicely blends in. And then I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to move it away from the other two colors, because the blending tool with the lighter ink will actually pick up those other colors and pull it in. And so I also start from the outside edge to get as much of the clear color before I get close to that pink and start blending that in, because my blending tool is going to pick it up a little bit. And so again, I'm blending in those lines, and we're going to be splattering and overstamping, so it doesn't need to be perfect. I'm going to spray some water into my hand from the Distress sprayer and then just flick it on because I don't want too much. And water activates the Distress Oxide, so you can see that just by simply adding it, you're going to get that nice blotchy kind of distress look. And then I heat set it because I'm going to stamp next. For today's card, I'm used a color layering dragonfly combo from Hero Arts, and it has dies and stamps. And the dragonfly is up the top. We're going to be using the 2 flowers that are in the set. And then if you look down the bottom, there's also 2 layers that you can add design and ink to the wings of the dragonfly. And I'm going to be using one of those as well. I'm using the VersaFine ONYX Black because I really like how really tight it is. It's a good solid image and it doesn't run, and it's also waterproof just in case I want to spritz it again. I'm doing the flowers along the bottom, and then I'm going to do a couple of partial dragonflies up the left side of the card. And basically what I'm doing is I'm building a frame for the main dragonfly that I'm going to pop on the top of this at the end. The theme for our challenge this month is sympathy, so I'm going to be putting a like-minded sentiment down here too. And again, I'm just stamping it in black. I've decided I want the dragonfly to be the main focus on my card. And on to my dragonfly, I am going to be stamping on vellum, so I just rubbed it with my anti-static pouch, and now I'm going to ink up the stamp in the Versamark, and that's a special ink that's going to hold my black embossing powder onto my vellum for me until I can heat set it. And one little trick about doing heat setting on vellum: make sure your heat tool is hot before you go over, otherwise you could actually warp or burn the vellum. And it doesn't take very long, so just be careful. Now I'm going to take the coordinating die and I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine, and there we go, it's all ready to go. And I wanted to show you, I originally did the dragonfly in white, but when I put him on the background, I thought it was just too white. It wasn't special. I really like the vellum and the black embossing. It just really shows it off. Now I'm taking one of those highlighting wing stamps that I told you about, and I'm adding some Wilted Violet, and I'm stamping this on the back of the dragonfly. So this is the good side and the purple is on the other side. And just a tip, it takes a long time for ink to dry on vellum, so be really careful. And I'm just going to put a couple of skinny pieces of foam tape down the center of the dragonfly because it's black embossed on the other side, so it won't show. And I'm just setting that aside while I score and fold my card base. And then I am going to grab my fancy background that I made, and I'm going to put some nice strong adhesive on it. I like this Tombow Extreme. It's really strong, very sticky. Moving over to the white side of my Tim Holtz base so that I can actually see. I've got 1/8 of an inch, I think, on this card, maybe 1/4, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, it's only an 8, so it's a really skinny margin. And there we go. There's my card base finished. And then I can take my little dragonfly, remove those sticky little things off the back of the foam tape, and I can park him on my card. Isn't he fabulous? And doesn't he just show up? And then for the final, I took a little clear wink of Stella and did his wings. And I know this is going to be really, really hard to see on this video, but in real life, it is spectacular. He just sparkles. Isn't he pretty? I decided for just a little bit more embellishments, I'm using the Nuvo Amethyst Squares Pure Sheer Gemstones. They are fabulous. There you go, a super fabulous but very easy card. And as you can see, I did a coordinating envelope as well. It's super easy to do while you got all your supplies out. Aren't they pretty together? There's a list of the supplies that I used today underneath the video, and you can also get the link to my blog post that carries this card, along with a free PDF download for you for all of the instructions and a supply list. And if you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And until next time, toodles!